Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about syncing another platform to your Google Classroom. So once you have your Google Classroom set up, you have families and students connected, you can actually go ahead and sync it to another platform, and you can assign things directly from that platform. I'm going to use ReadWorks as an example because this is one I haven't synced to my own Google Classroom yet, so I can walk you through that process. And I happen to be a huge fan of ReadWorks because I think it's accessible to many different subjects. And of course, we want to build literacy across the board in all subjects in our school. So I've created my teacher account already. Anytime that you're syncing to another platform, you need to have an existing account in that platform. And I always recommend that you use your school Gmail address in order to create that account so that it can sync easily to your school Google Classroom. So I've already done that here. This will be different site to site that you go to, but in ReadWorks, for example, I'm going to go to Class Admin. And notice I haven't created any classes, so it's inviting me to create a new class or import from Google Classroom. If your platform gives you an option to import from Google Classroom, do that. It is so easy, and it's going to allow you to communicate between Google Classroom and this platform. So I'm choosing my school account that I created. It's going to ask for permissions here, and usually you have to allow all of those permissions for it to communicate. Notice it's going to automatically now pull up what I have in my Google Classroom. I have a ton of different classes, just like I have all the folders in my Google Drive. We already know that I like to have it like super organized. So I'm going to, if I went with sample PD test class, that's what I've been using in all my other videos, but I don't have any students connected to that. So I'm going to go ahead and use a block that I know I already have students connected into. Going ahead and selecting my grade. Again, this is going to be different platform to platform. So you're going to have to play a little bit with a different platform just to be sure. But notice it's asking me publish assignments to Google Classroom by default. I'm going to say yes to that just to save myself several steps. And then I'm going to import from my class. So here, now I can see all of those students that had connected into that class, and they're in my block 1. Let's say that you did this on Friday afternoon, but not everybody was connected yet. In almost every platform that I've found, you can sync your roster. So if you have students that add in later and maybe they didn't get on your ReadWorks account the first time, you can just hit that sync roster and it'll keep updating based on whoever is connected into your Google Classroom. I've now shifted back to how I want to create an assignment. So my class lists still exist over here, but now I'm back in the Find Content home screen, and we're going to go ahead and assign something to that class. So I would obviously do a lot of research as a teacher into what I wanted to assign. For simplicity here, we're going to talk about antibiotics since we've got this crazy illness going around. Science teacher note, not that antibiotics would work on a virus, but you guys know what I'm going for. So I click into the assignment that I want to assign. Then I hit assign, right? And so I can choose lots of options, and here's why I love ReadWorks. It gives me an audio version if I want it to be able to read aloud to students. If you can see in the background here, there's a play button. So when students see this, they can hit that play button and it will read the article to them. If I want vocabulary to be included, it's going to list these vocabulary words with their definitions down at the bottom. Again, this is different for each platform. I could also assign a vocab activity with that vocab. And then notice here, it's got my Google Classroom class already ready to go. I want it to be assigned to everybody. I can put it in my due date, start date, publish to Google Classroom stream. I'm going to say no because we want students to use the classwork tab, not the stream. And then I'm going to hit assign. And it says that assignment is created. So let's check and see if this has shown up in our Google Classroom. Jumping back in, I went to check first, and it actually did not show up in my Google Classroom, and it's because I did not hit to publish in the stream. So I did this again with my Jane Goodall article. I went to assign, I filled out all of the same information, hit publish in stream, and then when I come back to my Google Classroom, right there it is, my ReadWorks Jane Goodall article.